And take a moment to arrive, transitioning to here from wherever you were, wherever your mind was, body was, heart was, allowing yourself to settle into your body. Always remembering when we transition to gift yourself a little time to arrive. Gift yourself time to land and to settle in. Whether it be from exam room to exam room or task to task, taking a big deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And noticing how you feel this morning or midday, wherever you are in the world, evening in some parts of the world, and just noticing how your body feels. Is your heart racing? Is it steady? Does it feel strong? Does it feel wobbly? Gifting yourself a moment to check in. And come back to the breath. Check in with the breath. Use the breath to explore, breathing in the oxygen and letting it go to every nook and cranny of the fingers and toes, to the back side of the heart, down into your belly, and letting it out. And I invite you to try flipping your palms open and notice how that feels, and close your eyes if that feels accessible. If not, just a light, loose gaze. And the invitation of today's class, for those of you that are new, I always like to choose a theme or an invitation of something to explore each class. And this class, it's going to be, how are you resourced? And resourced in a way of, what do you have available to you? Where are your strengths and the opportunities and supports? Many of us have almost all the things we always wanted, and yet we don't connect with that. Many of us focus on all the ways in which we're not resourced and the ways in which things aren't working out the way we thought. And yet, all of us are incredibly resourced within and without. Outside is what I should say. And so thinking during yoga about your inner resources primarily, and attending for a moment to this idea of, how are you resourced? What comes to mind here? You're resourced with the breath, breathing in and breathing out. Noticing how amazing just the breath feels, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Noticing how that shifts. It brings some peace and calm, a little bit of hope and energy. And we'll bring a hand to heart and another hand to top. And noticing that we're resourced with a heart. We're resourced with tremendous love and caring. And our hearts tend to resource us also with energy. They tend to resource us with feistiness, to fight for the things that we love. Hearts are stubborn. Hearts resource us with the systole, the ability to move forward and push towards doing things. They also invite us to diastole and resting, and the invitation of feeding yourself first, taking care of yourself first, or at least as well. We're also resourced with intuition within, our inner knowing. Many of us ignore this resource or hesitant to trust it. But what if you paused long enough to listen to that inner knowing? And knowing in each of us, it's often found in a different place. For some people, it's in the belly, and you might want to try hand to heart, hand to belly. For some people, it's the heart space. So hand over hand, hand on heart. Some people, it's in our third eye. So taking a moment to notice where your inner knowing is. Noticing where those desires are, your wishes, your aspirations, things you'd like to have more of. Considering that your intuition is a resource. And how are you resourced in your mind, in your brain? Many of us have highly trained brains. We have smart brains. What if they were a resource for us? What if we used them for us with intentionality? Reminding yourself that you are professional problem solvers, well-trained problem solvers. You've solved so many problems. So whatever problem may be in front of you today, your brain is a resource. Your mind is a resource. Your breath is a resource. Your heart is a resource. Your throat is also a resource. We often speak up. Sometimes don't think of that as a resource, or we feel like we can't speak up. But how are you resourced in the ability to speak up? Say what you want, share what is not right for you. Coming back to the breath, and pour that breath on the next inhale down into your belly. And coming into your solar plexus, another place of resource. That's your power center, your energy center. And physiologically, it's also a center with a lot of nerves and autonomic control. Connecting with how you are resourced within that inner power and inner strength. And as you move down farther in your chakra system, your sacral plexus is that pleasure center. It's also the creativity center. And many of us are resourced with creativity that we may not be aware of. I used to think I wasn't creative, and I realize now that I'm creative in different ways. I'm creative in creating yoga classes. I'm creative as a teacher. I'm creative as a retreat leader. I'm creative in the way I think and the way I help people think. I might not be creative on a piece of paper or as an actress, but there are so many ways in which we're creative. Creativity is just open-mindedness and thinking differently. How are you creative? How are you resourced with creativity? And moving down into that root chakra, which is your safety center, your groundedness. How are you safe? How are you secure? We always look at what isn't done or how we might not be safe, but how are you safe? Where are you right now that you're safe? Even on your mat in this moment, you're safe, secure, well supported, with lots of resources to ensure your safety and security. Connecting with those for a moment. And then considering your body as a resource. Our bodies can do so many amazing things. They have strong cores and strong centers, and even toes are a resource. Fingers are a resource. The strength of your arms is a resource. It allows you to hug and hold and carry. Noticing that when something doesn't work, you realize how helpful your body is. So connecting with that as a resource. And noticing for a moment how you feel when you connect with this idea of being resourced and how it feels. Come back to your breath, pouring that breath into every nook and cranny, allowing each bit of oxygen to go like a little flashlight everywhere, noticing all the resources, all the things that work and function, Not from a place of gratitude, you can if you want, but just appreciation and knowing, connecting. For those of us who have guilt tendencies, gratitude can bring up some guilt. And so here, letting any thoughts of guilt go, just noticing, knowing, allowing yourself to see with a lens to being resourced can change how you move through the world, how you feel, how you approach challenges, even how you breathe and how you sleep. We'll bring our hands together at heart center, rubbing them together, noticing how well they create heat and how good that skin to skin sensation is. Bringing your thumbs into your sternum, your finger pads reaching towards the sky. Press those thumbs into the heart space and connecting with feeling resource. Set your own intention around this for the practice. What would you like to explore around feeling resources? What might you like to appreciate or notice? And when you feel complete, you can lower your hands and open your eyes, and we'll come back together. And we'll find our root, our sit bones, connect them down into the block, which is a resource. Moving the flesh of your seat, find your ischial spines and send your root downward. Noticing that when we feel grounded, we're much more stable and much more resourced. And you'll engage your belly, your center, your core, also a resource. Tilt your belly forward. Align your spine all the way up through the crown of your head. Reach the crown of your head towards the sky, sitting up beautiful. Huge breath in and out. Send your root downward into the earth using that groundedness as a resource. And we'll inhale and reach our arms up towards the sky. Use your belly here. Right thumb and middle finger are going to grab the left wrist. Reach tall, stretching tall. Growing your body and your spine as tall as you can. Exhale, tip to the right. Enjoy the left side body. Send the breath everywhere. Notice your strength and your stability here. It's a resource. Exhale, letting it out. One more breath in. Tug that left wrist to the right. Exhale, let it out. Coming back to center, switch the clasp of your hands. Inhale and grow tall first, reaching as tall as you can, a little shimmy, lengthen your spine. Use your spine as a resource, growing yourself tall. Yoga can actually help you get taller. Breathing in. And exhale, tip to the left. Enjoy the whole right side body, all the way down into the right waist and down into the earth. Inhale, filling yourself with the breath. And exhale, let it out. Coming back to center, you'll open your arms out towards the sides. Palms will face to front to start. Inhale, round your belly and suck it all the way back. Bring your hands together, creating a big ball, gathering in, feeling that sense of abundance and fullness in between your arms. And exhale, opening your arms out, your heart will shine forward, enjoying that just sense of freedom. Inhale, round your belly, suck your navel all the way back. Hands will come together, lots of stretches in lots of different pockets. And inhaling, open, heart shines forward. Enjoy it. Lower your hands while behind you towards the floor. And if anyone has any shoulder issues or anything along the way, opt out. Do no harm to yourself. Inhale, reaching your arms up all the way to the sky. You'll bring your palms together and slowly lower them. Let them drip down by your nose to your heart center. And pause for a second, attending to this idea of feeling resourced. Already having brought in more calm, which is a resource. Your nervous system is a resource when you use it with intention. Breathing in. Out, you're going to lower your hands down, reaching them up and out once again, up towards the sky. Interlace your fingers, flip your palms to the sky, do a little shimmy, growing tall once again, growing as tall as you can, slight arch back. Exhale, round forward once again, palms face towards the front this time. Inhale, reach tall towards the sky with a slight arch, bathing your back with movement and breath. Exhale, round forward, pressing all the way forward towards me, towards the screen, towards whatever's in front. Inhale, reach tall. Sit tall, find your roots, use them as a resource. Inhale, grow as tall as you can. Exhale, tip to the left this time, root the right hip downward, and exhale. Notice how stable you are, even swayed. Inhale, find your grounding and your center and use it to help you. And exhale, tip gently to the left, using your belly, your core, your center as a resource. Inhale, reach tall, find your center. Exhale, tip to the right this time. Once again, use your root, use your groundedness, use your core, use your resources. Huge breath in. And exhale, tip. Lots of strength on the left side here. Coming back to center. Opening your arms out towards the sides. We're going to wrap them in front of us. Give ourselves a huge hug. Our own kindness is a resource, our own compassion, our own sense of touch. Lift your elbows up over your chest and round forward. As you round forward, squeezing tight, exhale. Inhale, squeeze even tighter. And exhale, squeeze even tighter. Remembering you can always give yourself a hug instead of waiting for one. Breathing, rising up, chin to neutral, untangle. Stretch your arms to the side. Wrists are flexed, pinch your scapula, enjoy all of those sensations. Appreciating all the work that your scapula do to hold your shoulders and arms up, squeezing tight. And exhale, release and let go. Enjoy the tingles. Drop your fingers to the floor and fingers to the sky. Squeeze your fists tight, holding on tight, and exhale. Flick the fingers and warm up your forearms, flicking them, squeezing them, noticing your energy. We have so much energy within. We can activate it when we wish. Squeezing, enjoying all that warmth and heat, sensations in the arm. Lowering your hands and just shaking it out. Rolling your shoulders in both directions. And when you feel ready, bring your arms back out to the sides and you'll wrap yourself in a hug in the opposite direction, likely left elbow under right. Lift your elbows up over your chest, lifting them out of the way without judgment, and round forward, squeezing. Huge hug. You can even rock if that feels good, like rocking the baby. Huge breath in. And untangle your arms and lowering them down. Do a huge shrug, shoulders up towards your ears, as tight as you can. Drop your occiput into the shoulders, squeeze, 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 squeeze. And exhale, lower and enjoy. Notice this ability to bring yourself pleasure. We often wait for other things, external things, and yet squeezing your shoulders up towards your ears. We'll do that once again. Tight, 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 tight. And exhale, release. Feels good. You'll take your block or bolster out from underneath you if you have one underneath you. Coming down to the floor, stretch your legs long, move the flesh of your seat out of the way so you can use those ischial spines as a resource. Root them downward, engage your belly, tilt your pelvis forward, align your spine. Inhale, reach your arms up with grace. And exhale, fold forward towards your shins, toes, whatever you can reach. Allow your head and neck to release. And notice the backs of your legs. They are quite a resource most of the time. They allow us to stand and deserve a little time and attention. Huge breath in. Exhale, slide forward a wee bit more. Enjoy the backs of the legs. Point your toes. And flex your ankles towards your nose. Noticing even these tiny little movements make a big shift. Spread your toes wide. Relax the toes. And sliding up towards you. Bring the soles of your feet together. Coming into a butterfly pose. Your knees will be apart. Bring your hands to your ankles and have a little rock. Find your sit bones, bring your heels in a little bit farther. Find your pelvis once again, tilt it forward, align your spine, bring your elbows in towards your sides, reach the crown of your head towards the sky. Huge breath in and out. Noticing how it feels here. Big breath in and out. Notice if you want to bring your heels a little bit closer or press your knees down towards the floor. Taking a moment just for fun to recognize it's butterfly seasons, monarch butterfly migration in California. Flapping your knees, enjoying the sensation, perhaps even lowering the knees towards the floor. And you'll relax here. Stretch the left leg out wide. Your right leg is going to stay in towards you. You'll bring the sole of the foot to the left inner thigh. And take a moment to look at that left leg, engage it, flex your ankle, flex your toes towards your knees. You're going to slide your left hand, down your left leg, reach your right arm over, and enjoy that right side body, reaching towards the left ankle and toes, and the right fingers reaching over towards the left toes also. Breathing into that whole right side body, which does so much for us. Huge breath in. On the exhale, gaze over the right shoulder if your neck and shoulders have room, and breathe over the shoulder and enjoy it. Huge breath in. Exhale, breathing out over that right shoulder. Rising back up, you're going to lower your right hand to the floor, drop your left toes towards the floor, pick your hips up and come into wild things, stretching out that whole left side body, wiggling your fingers, have a little fun with it. You can roll your wrist if it needs some rolling or attention. And when you feel complete, lower your hips down, and you're going to stretch your right leg out wide. Bring your hands in front. You're going to hinge at the waist and slide forward. Ankles will be flexed, toes flexed towards your knees. You may not go far, and just sending some love and appreciation for the backs of the legs. Your belly is engaged here, using it as a resource, using your ischial spines as a resource, rooting downward, using your ankles as a resource to give you some stability here. Breathing in and out. One more breath here. Walk your hands a smidge farther forward if you have any room. If you have no room to go further, that's fine. Slowly sliding up, you'll bring your left foot into your right inner thigh. Find your sit bones and slide your right arm down the right leg. Your elbow's going to bend, and you can rest lightly on that right leg, using it as a support. Reach your left arm over towards the right toes. Wiggle your toes. And enjoy that left side body. Enjoy that top spot of the left waist. Huge inhale. Exhale, gaze over that left shoulder if you have room, and blowing things out. Noticing all that in your body here needs to be engaged. Your body is very resourced. In fact, it works together in concert, almost when we don't know it. So many things in our life do, which is why we don't know how resourced we are. So moving forward with a lens towards how you are resourced rather than how you aren't can shift so many things. Huge breath into that heart space. Exhale, gaze over the left and enjoy it. You're using your belly here to take good care of your back. Rising back up, left hand's going to come about 18 inches behind the left hip. Right toes will drop to the floor. Pick up your hips and stretch into wild thing and enjoy it. Let it be fun. Roll your wrist. Enjoy the whole right waist. Reach those fingers along. Outer edge of the right foot is going to touch the earth. Stretching, stretching, stretching. And lower down to the floor. You're going to bring both legs in front. Wrap your knees around. Come to hands and knees. Find your palms on the floor. Spread your fingers wide into equal pie shapes, using your fingers as a resource. Press your palms into the floor, elbows straight. Humeral heads come into your shoulder sockets. Find your navel, your belly, your solar plexus, that power center. Use it for you. Notice your knees on the floor directly under your hips and tops of the feet on the floor. Breathing in and out. Inhale for cow, reach your sit bone towards the sky and stretch that belly. Noticing all the beautiful things that come into your awareness here. Your heart is shining forward. Exhale, round into the most delicious cat. Reaching your solar plexus, your belly, your navel, all the way to the sky. Drop your head. Letting that power center wake up and be seen. Inhale for cow once again. Enjoy all of the little spots in the belly and the hips and the lower spine. All of these things that are there that we don't notice. Supporting us to stand and sit all day long. Exhale, round into the most delicious cat. Coming back to center. Stretch your left leg long. Inhale, flatten your belly, raise that left foot about a little bit under hip height. Coming to balance. Use all your resources here. Your fingers, your palms, your elbows, your belly, everything. Press the heel into the back wall for balance. And when you feel ready, reach your right arm long in front and enjoy the balance here. Noticing all the things here that allow you to do this. Your body is quite resourced. Even as you tip, notice your ability to correct. Huge inhale. If it feels good to you, bring your elbow to knee underneath you. Exhale, stretch long. Inhale, elbow to knee. Exhale, stretch long. Lower your hands, lower your foot, bend your knee, and do a little tail wag just to undo any kinks. And we'll stretch the right leg long. Inhale, lift it up to a little below hip height. Take a moment here to use your palms, your wrists, taking good care of everything. Huge breath in and out. Reach that left hand long, engaging everything that needs to be engaged to help you balance. Press your heel into the back wall. You can stay here or bring elbow to knee underneath you. Inhale, stretch long. Exhale, round. Inhale, stretch long. You're using your breath as a resource as well. Lower your left hand, you lower your right toes, bend your knee, and we're going to come back into child's pose, knees apart, toes together. Lower your third eye to the floor. And pause here to check in with yourself. Checking in with this idea of feeling resourced. And here in child's pose, you can connect with the inner resources, but perhaps also the outer resources. Noticing all the things outside ourselves that we have to support us. Other humans that love us and care for us. Shelter, jobs, abilities to get jobs, skills, wisdom. And when you feel complete, we'll come back up to hands and knees. And coming up into downward dog, you'll walk your hands forward, curl your toes, and shoot your hips up. And take a moment here to just enjoy it. Notice your belly, engage it, and reach your sit bones towards the sky. You'll lift your hips up as high as you can. Use your toes here.
a resource, lower your forehead towards the floor and let your heart hang light. Hips are the apex. Heart is enjoying a little gravity-free moment. You're up on those tiptoes. Your head and neck are released, letting go of any tension here. And just notice in this inverted position, perhaps take a look between your legs, a different perspective. Things might look different. They might feel different. If you're in the midst of some stormy weather in your life, just notice this different perspective. How does it feel when you're upside down? Huge breaths in, pouring the breaths into your body upside down. Your arms are engaged, elbows are engaged. You're quite resourced to be able to stay upside down like this. Bend your left knee, press your right heel to the floor, and allow yourself to enjoy. Bend your right knee, press your left knee to the floor. Lifting up on both tippy toes. You'll drop your knees to the left, bend that left knee, right heel will come to the floor, and you can gaze under your right armpit, enjoying that side of the body. Coming back to center, lifting high on your tiptoes, drop your heels to the right, bend your right knee, and enjoy that left hip, etc. Come back to center. Lifting up high on your toes, both of them, reach your hips, the apex towards the sky. Be kind to your wrists as high as you can and lower your heels to the floor. Take a moment and let that energy move through you. Resource your body with energy shifts. Find your solar plexus, your power center, right at your navel. Inhale your left leg up towards the sky as high as you can. Press your heel into the back wall, engage your belly. Everything is engaged here. Use all your strength and your resources for this three-legged dog. Huge inhale. And you'll exhale, bring your foot between your hands. We're going to cartwheel into warrior three. And if your shoulders don't cartwheel, you can always get here another way. Your back foot will spread a little bit farther along. So have it be a long stance. Your left toes are going to reach towards the front of the mat, and you'll bend your left knee so it does not extend beyond your ankle. And your arms are going to cartwheel open if they haven't already. And press your hands in either direction. Drishti, or your gaze, is going to be over that left middle finger. The warrior poses are a pose of inner strength, inner resource. Connecting here, you might even close your eyes as you gaze over the left middle finger. Huge inhale, exhale, sink in, bend that front knee, and exhale, letting it out. Allow yourself to connect with this idea of being resourced, feeling strong and steady. Inhale. Exhale, lower your right hand and reach the left arm up, coming into graceful, peaceful warrior. Enjoy the front rib cage. Letting yourself be expansive, open, connecting with resources, perhaps inviting resources here. Reach those left fingers as far towards the ceiling and back wall as you can, or whatever's behind you. Fanning open the ribs to the most spacious space possible. Exhale, come back to warrior two. Bend your front elbow, reach your right arm over, coming into side angle. Your left elbow is going to rest gently on the left thigh, but not dumping into it. Extend the whole right side body. Resource the outer edge of your right foot all the way through your right fingers, engaging everything, noticing how you can take good care of yourself by using all your resources. That's a great question to ask as you're facing a struggle. What are my resources? Sometimes your resources are resting, reaching long, long, long. Cartwheeling back up to warrior 2. Turning towards the left hand, you're going to hop your right foot out, come into warrior 1. Another strong resourced pose. Huge breath in as you grow tall, tall, tall. And exhale, sink into warrior 1. Your front knee is going to bend again. Your back knee, the heel is going to reach towards, back heel, sorry, is going to reach towards the floor, your back foot. Your hips are square towards the front of the mat. And exhale, sink in, bend that front knee. Huge breath in. Open your arms out towards the side, clasp them at your sacrum, down behind you. Press your fist towards the floor and heart will open. Shine your heart forward. Gaze up if you have room in your neck, and just allowing yourself to be open to all the potential resources that might come your way. Drop your chin to chest. Send some love into the shoulder for holding up that very resourced, helpful head. Bringing your chin back to neutral. If you wish, inhale, reach your hands towards the sky and lower to the inside of that left knee. Coming into humble warrior, if that feels good. Enjoy your shoulders. If it doesn't, just stay up. Release your head and neck. Lower your hands back to your sacrum, rising upward. Release your hands. And we're going to turn our toes towards the front of the mat, directly facing the side edge of the mat. Hinge at the waist and fold forward. Flat back. You can come onto a block if you have one, onto your fists if you have one, onto a chair if you have that. Your sides of your feet will be parallel to the sides of the mat. Don't drop your head if you have high blood pressure. Staying up flat is the intention of this pose today. Enjoying it for a moment. Bend your left knee. You're going to walk over towards that left knee, left toes. Bend the left knee fully. Raise your right toes up. Wiggle your toes and enjoy that stretch. How fun. There's so much sun in California today that it's blinding. And we'll walk our hands over to the other side. Shift your weight to the right foot knee. Bend that knee. Your heel will rise up. Your knees bent fully, and your left toes are going to reach to the sky. Straighten your back and gaze forward. Breathe. Coming back to center, straighten your knees. You're going to turn your heels into that second position. Bring your hands to your hips and rise up. Sink down into the hips, coming into goddess pose. Sinking as low as you can, hands to hips. Raise that right heel and lower it down, and the left heel. And lower it down. Sink your hips down. Using lots of inner resources here. Use your belly to support you. Notice if you have the resources to lift up both heels, and if you don't, that's fine. Have a little fun with it. Sinking lower. Lower your heels. Straighten your knees and your arms, coming up into that star pose because it feels good. You're going to cartwheel your arms open towards the other side, coming into warrior 2. So you'll be facing the back of your mat if you want to turn around and face the front with the right foot forward this time. Do that. Inhale and sink that front knee. Bend it. Make sure your knee is not extending beyond your ankle. Your back heel is stretched long. It's a long stance, warrior 2. Gaze drishtis over the right middle finger, but you can close your eyes if you wish. Notice the breath, notice your heart. Allow yourself to feel resourced here, to feel strong. Lower your left hand, fan open the ribs, coming into graceful, peaceful warrior. Feeling graceful. Allowing the resources and this idea of resources, receptive and open to them, inviting them. Stretch those right fingers all the way behind you. Fan open the ribs a tiny bit more. Cartwheel back to warrior two. Bend your left elbow, rest lightly on the right thigh, and reach long into side angle. Allow yourself to enjoy it. Stretching, 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 stretching. Cartwheel back up, and you'll hop the back foot forward a little bit and out. Twist into warrior one, facing the front or back of the mat, whichever you've opted for. Huge inhale, grow tall, and exhale, sink in. Your back foot is on less of an angle than in warrior two. Huge breath in and out. Reaching your arms out towards the side, reclasp them at the sacrum, press your fists down and look up. Heart open. Opening yourself up to any other resources that would like to be seen or come your way. Inviting them. And if it would feel good, exhale and hinge forward, coming to the inside of the right knee. Hands will reach towards the sky, head will drop. When that feels complete, rising back up. Release your hands. Turn your toes towards the side, and you'll just heel toe back towards the center. Shaking things out, rolling your shoulders. And we'll come into Tadasana, a mountain pose, where you use all those resources to stand tall. Taking a moment to lift up all 10 toes and lower them down and drop the energy of the earth into your legs, your thighs, your pelvis. Engage your belly and align your spine all the way up towards the sky. Huge breath in, your heart is light. And exhale, letting go, settling in. Notice here, engaged but relaxed. Let yourself enjoy. And connect here with this idea of how you are resourced. Your toes are resourcing. You have the bottoms of your feet, perhaps, for wisdom. You have your belly, your solar plexus, sacral plexus, that creativity, all the safety, all the power. Coming up into your heart, all that heart and love. And your voice, the ability to speak and up and share. And coming up into your third eye, your wisdom. Taking a moment to connect to intuition as a resource. Any resistance you might have to just trusting yourself. Remembering that those of us in medicine, we're trained not to trust ourselves and not to trust our intuition. But you might be more wise than you think. What might happen if you followed your intuition or your gut more? And bring a hand to heart and the other hand to top. Just allowing this idea of being resourced within and outside to settle into the heart space. And perhaps sending some love and feelings of resource to everyone else joining us. And perhaps offering out this idea of feeling resourced to everyone in the world. What if we all connected to how we were more resourced?
what strength, power, creativity, love, and energy we have within. Huge breath in. Notice your chest rise. Fill yourself up with breath. And exhale, let it out. And we will lower our hands, coming down to the mat. We're going to do a rock the baby. So for those of you who know what that is, you'll bend your left knee like you were going to sit cross-legged. You're going to take your right foot, grab it with the left hand, right hand picking it up, bring the left foot into the cradle of the left elbow. Your right arm's going to wrap around your knee and you will have a little rock. Noticing that we can cradle and rock our own babies, inner childs, whatever you want to call it. We're resourced here. There's a lot of tension in that right hip, but have a little fun with the rock. Roll on the ischial spines. Use your belly to hold yourself and let yourself just massage all of that. Enjoy the rock. Maybe even do circles to the left, circles to the right. Close your eyes. Notice if it changes. And come back to stillness for a moment, holding it. If this hurts your knee, please opt out. You can do a figure 4 on your back. Engage your belly, tilt your pelvic bowl forward, sitting up tall on your ischial spines, and notice what happens as you grow tall here. And exhale, send the breath out. Release your hands. You'll lower your leg down, stretching it long in front, and stretch the left leg alongside. Move the flesh of your seat. Find your ischial spines. Bring your hands behind you. Cupcakes. Press your thumbs and fingers into the earth with the cupcakes underneath so you're not squishing the frosting. Notice your knees. Press your knees downward. Heart's going to shine forward. Shoulders down and back. Coming into Dandasana, our staff pose. Huge breath in as everything is engaged. Lift your heels up. Fingers reaching into the floor. Heart is shining forward. Exhale. Release everything. Inhale, engage once again. Lift your heels up. Press your fingers into the floor. Dandasana, staff pose, strong, resourced, and exhale, let it out. Bend your right knee, bringing it into cross-legged position, and you'll take your left leg, grab your left foot with your left hand, and you'll wrap your arm around the left ball of the foot, coming to cradle your left leg. If you want to keep your other leg extended, you can do that. Notice what feels best for your body. And have a rock. Massage your hips, roll, enjoy, use your belly. Have fun with it. Squeezing it a little bit tighter. Engage your pelvis, sit up nice and tall, one vertebrae atop the other, growing as tall as you can. And exhale, release everything. You'll let that ankle leg go. Stretch it long in front. Sliding your hands down your thighs, folding forward, drop your head and neck in an easy forward fold. Release the back of your neck. Drop your head. Go inward here for a moment. Breathing in and out. Point your toes. Point, point, point. Enjoy the sensations and the energy. Even as you relax, the energy shifts. Relax your ankles. Flex the ankles and toes towards your nose. Relax. Spread your toes as wide as you can, waking up the energy between the toes, using that to bring yourself energy. We're resourced with energy within when we attend to it and set an intention. Relax your toes. And we will slide up our shins
to our thighs, and we're going to lower down onto the earth, however you'd like to get there. Arrive for a moment. Let yourself melt. Let the earth hold you and be a resource for you. Bring the soles of your feet together, knees apart. Bring a hand to belly and a hand to heart, coming into Supta Baddha Konasana. Connecting here to the feelings of being resourced. Notice what you notice. Notice the resources in your heart space under one hand. Notice your heart is always there, beating, filling, supporting you. Perhaps checking in with its wisdom, another resource. What does your heart know or wish? When you see with your heart, what do you see as your next best step? And coming down to the hand under your belly, what wisdom and knowledge do you have under your belly? What does your belly know? What strength and power does it have that you'd like to remember to connect to? Noticing your heart slow here. Bringing your hands to the outer edges of your thighs, you'll draw your knees together. You'll stay knock-kneed and wiggle your feet to the outer edge of the mat. Bringing your arms above you into an easy cactus shape. Drop your knees to the right and enjoy the left whole side body. Noticing all the strength and tightness there, inviting the softness and release. Tending to your resources. Your hands will be above you in a cactus shape or beside you or as a T. Notice what feels good to you. And we'll bring our knees back to center. Reorganize your sacrum flat on the earth. Take good care of your shoulders. Set yourself up and drop your knees to the left side. Right knee is going to reach towards the left front corner of the mat. And allow your body to just enjoy it. Bring your knees back to center and your gaze back to center if you've looked to one way. And you're going to draw your knees into your chest. Bring your hands to your shins. Squeeze your knees tight. Squeeze your forehead all the way towards your knees as tight as you can. And exhale. Release your head. Rock side to side on your sacrum. Gift yourself a massage. We have the ability to massage ourselves too. Rolling from side to side, getting the very outer edge of those lower back muscles. Coming into happy baby. Soles of the feet are going to reach towards the sky. Knees will reach towards the floor. Have a little rock and play. A little more massage. Taking good care of yourself and your back. Enjoying it. Bring the soles of your feet together and lower your feet towards the earth, soles of the feet on the earth. You're going to bring your hands by your sides, palms by your hips, soles of the feet on the floor. We're going to come up into an easy bridge. to be kind to our backs before we come into Shavasana. Notice the palms on the floor, soles of the feet on the floor. Walk your heels as close to your rear end as you can. Notice your occiput on the floor. Inhale, lift your hips, your belly, shimmy your shoulders underneath you. Have a delicious back body stretch here. Reach your sit bones towards the sky. The front of your hips like flashlights, your knees connecting to one another. Make sure your feet are far enough in front that you're not pinching or hurting anything. Do no harm. Huge breath in here as you reach even higher. Reaching, engaging everything. Untuck your shoulders, roll down like pearls on a string, letting yourself melt back into the floor. And when you arrive, let yourself settle in. Let the earth hold you. You could stay here for Shavasana or stretch your legs long and allow the toes to flap towards the outer edge of the mat. If it would feel good, open your palms to the sky in that receptive position. Allowing yourself to feel resourced from within, open to resources from outside, trusting, willing to let people help. Connecting with this idea, not of how there are limited resources or we don't have enough resources, but what are all the resources out there, letting them come in through these open palms, lying here, letting go and surrendering. Allow yourself to soften in and enjoy. Enjoy feeling safe, held, secure. You're welcome to stay in Shavasana as long as you want. The beauty of Zoom and YouTube yoga. If you're ready to come out, gently deepen your breath. Slowly wiggle fingers and toes. And gift yourself a beautiful deep inhale and a big stretch in whatever way feels good for your body. Draw your knees into your chest and roll over to one side, pausing there. Connecting for a moment with those resources within, resources outside of your body. Allowing yourself to own them, honor them, appreciate them, connect with them, celebrate them. And when you feel complete, press into your hands and slowly come up to a comfortable seat where we began. When you arrive, find your sit bones and connect them deep into the earth, using the earth and that strength and energy beneath as a resource. Tilt your pelvic bowl and align your spine nice and tall. Bring your hands to your knees, palms open. Huge breath in and out.
here, with palms open towards the sky, heart light, body nourished and cared for, noticing how resourced you feel in this moment, how strong and steady and stable and supported and cared for you are. Perhaps set an intention to carry forth some of these feelings this week. With palms open, to invite any other resources that might be there, resources we haven't connected with, or any resources that just might like to come our way. Breathing in and out. Remembering the breath as a resource. And bring one hand to heart and the other hand to top. Connecting with your heart. Connecting with love. Connecting with hope. And connecting with the resources. Thank you all so much for practicing with me. May you all have a beautiful week filled with noticing and using your resources. The light and resources within me honor and reflect the light and resources within each and every one of you. Namaste.